Hello, hello, my chosen ones. I hope you all enjoying your day, your weekend, whenever you come across this. Sorry, guys. I'll be hearing little crunches in the leaves. I gotta make sure ain't the Decepticons coming. No, but how y'all doing? In today's message, I want to talk to you guys about the power of the tongue. Okay, I know, like you guys are gonna hear me say certain terms because I wholeheartedly believe in them a lot. But to be very specific about the power of the tongue, life and death. You guys, highly encourage you all to challenge yourself to not speak negative at all. Do not think negative. Now, the thinking part is going to be a little harder because your thoughts, especially if you're not used to controlling your thoughts, it's going to be hard to control them. But you can do it. You can do it. But I want to challenge you all to do it for 15, 30 days, like however long. I haven't spoke anything negative about myself or my life probably in about 3 months, 3 to 4 months. And within that 3 to 4 months, for the first time ever in my life, I actually said, I am in love with my life. Like with me not speaking anything nasty over my life, I was able to confidently say, I am in love with my life. And I really am. Like, guys, it's not even a joke. Like, it's not a joke. I'm in love with my life. And it's all because I decided to speak life. I decided to enjoy my life, regardless of what the hell tried to come up against me. And I'm not sitting here telling you guys like I haven't faced any type of spiritual warfare or like nothing try to come. No, the enemy is definitely gonna like negativity is definitely gonna try to come after you because it's so used to you being what you was in your past. But when you take on the journey of saying, I am not going to speak this stuff over me, you are now you are now literally putting power over your life. You are now putting life back into your life. A lot of people walk around in defeat. You walk around defeated because look what you're saying out your mouth. And if you're not saying out your mouth, you're thinking in your head. You have to also get a hold of your thoughts. I'm gonna talk more about the thoughts in the second part of this, but the first thing is you want to get control of what you're literally saying out your mouth. Do not condemn yourself whatsoever. Saying things like, oh, saying things like dumb, stupid, broke, fat, ugly. Like, calling yourself all these different names, fat, ugly, dumb, stupid. Like, people really do this to themselves, like, all the time. I've never been that type of person to call myself any names. Like, I've never called myself like ugly ever. Like I might be like, oh, I don't really like how this like certain makeup might look on me or something. But I ain't never been like, oh, I'm ugly. Like never. But it's a lot of people who do that. It's a lot of people who call themselves fat. It's a lot of people who call themselves dumb. Like they're like, oh, that's so dumb of me. I felt guilty of doing something like I'll do something. I'm like, oh my God, how could I be that dumb? Like, but no, don't ever do this. When you talk down on yourself, you are literally condemning yourself. Like you are. You really are. And people don't get it. People just think like, oh, I'm that's just what I do when I'm nervous. Or that's just what I do when I'm upset. But that's the thing is that y'all gotta understand that a lot of things we weren't taught. So a lot of things we were not taught, but that doesn't mean that because we weren't taught that it's excuse. God says that He puts the knowing of Him in every man's heart. There's certain things because people don't read the Bible and people don't really care to dig into the spirituality that they will be excused from in a sense, but they're still gonna be responsible because God is a holy God. Period. God God is not going to just make excuses. God is not a God of excuses. And so it's like, that's why I'm telling y'all that you have to get familiar with the laws of the universe. We have a universe. People might, some people like to say, I like to thank God. I always say I like to thank God. Some people say I like to thank the universe. Everything's one. So if you want to say you want to thank the universe, that's perfectly fine. There's laws of the universe, okay? That's why like karma, the law of like of like give and take, the law of like reaping and sowing. All of these things are real. So if you do something to go against these laws, whether you recognize it or not, you're going to reap it. When you talk down on yourself, and then you're speaking it out loud too. It doesn't matter, even if it's in your thoughts, but when you speak it out loud, you're putting it out there. That is what you are sowing. So in return, that's what you're going to get back. If you're calling yourself fat, stupid, dumb, broke, all this stuff, guess what you're going to get? You're going to be fat. You're going to be stupid. You're going to be dumb. You're going to be broke. Like, I don't get why people walk around and say, man, I'm so broke. I ain't got it. I ain't got it. I ain't got it. I ain't got it. I'm cheap. I'm cheap. I'm cheap. I'm cheap. I'm broke. I'm broke. Like, what's wrong with y'all? But then you really want to be rich. But then you want to really be smart. But then you really want to be skinny or skinnier. But you keep saying, I'm so fat, I'm so fat. That's exactly what you about to be. Like, for however long you keep saying it, that's going to be your reality. Seriously. And it's like, it's such a detriment because people don't even realize, like, they don't even realize what they're doing to themselves. Like, and that's the saddest part of all of this is that people really think that there's no consequences. God says you are going to be judged for every idle word you speak. And like in religion, I would hear this and then I would be like, that's really kind of like a lot. Like that's really harsh. Like how in the hell, what in the hell am I gonna be held accountable for everything I'm saying? Like, do you understand how many words I'm saying a day? But best believe that God know track of everything. God already know everything you about to say and think before you even do. So you have to really think before you speak. A lot of people they don't do that. They don't think before they speak. They just speak. And then later they might think to themselves like, "Oh wow, damn, like that's kind of crazy." But you should be in that mode all the time. Okay, let's talk about your thoughts. So a lot of times people are good at not saying out loud something, but then in their thoughts they can also be condemned. That's why I try to tell people. People like to pretend to be like they're these good people. It's nobody good. It ain't like people good. That's what God said. Don't say that. Don't call no one good but God. Because God's the only one who don't you do something to him and then he be ready to like, you know. Other people they might not say it out their mouth, but best believe they think it's something crazy in their head. They just ain't say it out loud. You just got some people they don't care. They gonna say it and they gonna speak it. But there's some people who act like they're a saint because they ain't said it out their mouth, but in their head they said it about 50,000 times. But your thoughts can condemn you too when it comes to the laws of the universe. Okay? And the way that it's going to condemn you is because again, your thoughts. Your thoughts govern in your subconscious. You have a conscious mind and you have a subconscious mind. Your thoughts, your thoughts are playing a major role in your subconscious mind. It's like when you're going to sleep, when you could daydream or your mind might drift off somewhere while you're just sitting still. Like for example, you're like this and you're like, you're up, but you're daydreaming, like your mind is somewhere else. That's also part of your subconscious. So if you're not saying out loud, I'm fat, but you're eating a Twinkie or something, right? And in your mind, you're like, damn, this is so fat of me. Like, I ain't gonna never lose weight. Like, you're saying that in your mind. You're like, man, I'm so fat. Like, I ain't gonna never lose weight. But you didn't say it out your mouth. Now, in your subconscious mind, you're trapped in the fact that you're always gonna be fat, that you're never gonna lose weight. So then when you try to go to the gym, when you try to work out, you do stuff, you're like, oh, what's the point of me even getting on this treadmill? What's the point of me even showing up? I'm gonna be fat anyway. I ain't gonna ever be able to lose this weight without surgery. I'm gonna have to get surgery anyway. Blah blah. You're not gonna really push yourself. And even if you do, you're not gonna stay in it long. Why? Because you have trapped your subconscious mind to think to yourself, you're never gonna lose weight. So if you are thinking negative thoughts, you're saying negative thoughts, you're gonna get negative results. Like if you're saying negative things, you're thinking negative things, you're gonna get negative things. It's just like math. If you're thinking positive, you're saying positive, you're gonna get positive. Like literally, I feel like my life has been like a fairy tale for the past 3 months that I stopped being negative to myself. And like that's what people would think like when you're like people would say like, oh, the self-love movement or like the positive vibe thing is so fake and it's phony. And it's because these people have been so toxic to themselves and toxic to others, toxic to their environment. So of course they're not gonna believe in it because their whole life has been nothing but negative, toxic BS to themselves and others. So why would they? But You try for yourself. And when you catch yourself, because again, no matter, I mean, depending on how old you are, if you're 15, 16, 17, if you're 20, 25, if you're 30, 35, 40, 45, however long you've been on this earth, you got a lot of reversing you got to do. So imagine you're like 30, 35 right now, and you're trying to have a better life, right? But you're just now coming across the law of attraction, manifestation, watching your words and your thoughts at 35. Don't think that in a week or two, life is just going to magically be like, dude, because you're unwiring about 34 years, 35 years of trauma, of toxicity that you told yourself, that you listened to from other toxic people, stuff you've seen in the news, stuff you heard on music, things you listen to. You're combating all of that, okay? And that might take a little while, you know? Now, I just started, like I said, in the past 3 months ago, talking to myself nicer, but I've been learning about the law of manifestation, things like that. Like, I want to say maybe a year, year and a half, close to two. I'm still fairly new at this stuff, but I'm telling you all because it's working. And it's so many people who need help. It's so many people who do not love themselves. My page purpose is for other chosen ones to come together, like so you don't feel like you're alone in this toxic, effed up world that the negative people have created for themselves, okay? Because imagine all the negative, toxic people come together in the world, which is so many negative people. I mean, you can go down, you can literally think, whoever comes across this video, if I say who's a negative person in your life, I'm pretty sure 2, 3, 4, 5 people pop up in your head right now. Like you don't even gotta really think about it. You like, oh, that's my mom, that's my auntie, that's my sister, that's my brother, that's my cousin, that's my best friend, that's my neighbor, that's my church member. But when I say how many positive people are in your life, like completely positive, you might have to step back. Yeah, like you probably gotta think about it, right? Like you can't just name like a whole bunch of positive people off, like genuinely positive people. I'm pretty sure it's not like something that just comes to your mind like boop, 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 boop. Like you could just point out a whole bunch of people because that's the reality. A lot of people are not positive. They're not happy. And the reason why they're so nasty to you is because they hate themselves. They're not happy with themselves. If you're not happy with yourself, you're not going to be happy with others. That was one of the main reasons why a lot of the fake friends, a lot of the hurtful family members, I realized they don't love themselves. They're not going to come out and tell people, hey, guess what? I don't love myself. Thanks for stopping by. They're not going to do that. But it's how they treat others, how they treat you. That's when you know it'll show you if they truly love themselves. Because someone that loves themselves, they're not going to go around treating people like crap. They're going to respect others the same way that they want people to respect them. But if they don't even love themselves or respect themselves, how would you expect them to love and respect you? But that's the thing is that so many people walk around with a negative complex, whether they're saying it out loud or they're thinking these thoughts in their head. So this video I knew was going to be longer than my normal other ones because I want you guys to understand that literally life and death is in the power of the tongue. You will destroy your life day after day, week after week, year after year, moment after moment if you continue to say negative things to yourself or you think negative things to yourself. Okay? God says at war, you're at war with your flesh, the world, the devil. Okay? Your thoughts, your words and things, that is a part of your flesh. All right? And then you got to deal with the media, the world, stuff they're putting out here, the Decepticons, the nasty people, the negative people. Okay? And then you have the devil, the one that's always trying to attack your mind. Okay? And bring you down to where he's at. So I want you to take these words I'm saying, don't take them lightly. Take them to heart. Start today. Whenever you see this video, okay? You come across this video, it is for a reason. Start today. Take the challenge today to say, I will speak only life to myself. I will only think life to myself. I have a great life. I have an amazing life. I am in love with my life. I am in love with who I am. I love God. I love my family. I love my friends. If you have real family and friends, congratulations. Hold on to them tight because not many people have that. Be thankful. Have gratitude. But start today. I will be back with more on this series as far as life and death because it's a lot to still unpack. But I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next subject. I love you guys. God loves you too. Speak life always. You're beautiful.